Well, shares of Nikola are seeing their biggest drop in more than 2 months after GM revised its pact with the electric vehicle startup. For more on the latest on this story, let's bring in Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow. Ed, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, GM and Nikola have really narrowed the relationship they posed back in September. GM essentially will now just be a supplier to Nikola. It will supply fuel cell technology for Class 7 and 8 semi-trucks. Previously, the original deal had GM not just providing fuel cell, but also battery technology, as well as manufacturing a pickup truck on Nikola's behalf. But sources tell us that it comes from both sides. GM looked at the controversies that were happening around the company. As you know, a short seller's report a couple of months ago really hit the reputation of the company. We know that there is an SEC and a DOJ investigation into Nikola. So from GM's standpoint, sources tell us they really wanted to streamline their approach. But Nikola, too, kind of changed what they were looking for. You know, they had this sort of charismatic founder in Trevor Milton who had all of these big ambitions, very broad ambitions, lots of different projects, lots of different products. He's now out of the picture because he resigned, and the current Nikola executives, according to sources, felt that they'd bitten off a little more than they could chew, so they also wanted to narrow their focus just to focus on those semi-trucks. And what we've ended up with is a deal where GM is a supplier. They don't take an equity stake, and they might talk about doing something around battery technology, but that is just talks at this stage. And really, beyond that, it's reputational damage to Nikola with GM altering its position.
In part, I guess, Ed, because it was seen as a real vote of confidence, right? You got the charismatic founder, and what you want is the kind of sober second thought of the established public company player coming in. How important is it, this shift, not just in the relationship and the depth of it, that feels important, but also in the actual technology? It is, as you say, it's a hydrogen fuel cell, it's not electric. How big a deal is that?
Yeah, what's so fascinating about this story is that on paper, even if GM had walked away completely, Nikola still has everything it needs. It's had a relationship with Robert Bosch, one of the biggest technology companies in the world, since 2017, and that included development of fuel cells and battery technology. At the moment, sources tell me that they're actually using Bosch fuel cells anyway in their prototypes, and they plan to continue doing that because GM's fuel cells are not yet ready to fit into a semi-truck. Even with this updated deal, it's going to be some time before Nikola can get to work integrating GM's tech within their own designs anyway. They have other reputable partners. They work with Iveco in Europe, one of the most established makers of heavy trucks in the world. They have a battery electric semi, which is already through the prototype phase and due to go into production in Germany next year. So on paper, they really could pull it off. The thing is that with all the controversy surrounding the company, they always were looking to a third-party automaker to build the Badger pickup. That's now gone out the window. They could have relied on General Motors for engineering expertise, supply chain expertise. That's something that Wall Street analysts pointed to. And now it seems like that relationship is much more shaky. And, you know, even though they have other parts in place, it does raise questions about what GM found out about Nikola's business and how it operated.
Quickly, Ed, just 30 seconds. What does Nikola do next?
It just carries on with the existing plan. It has a factory under construction in Arizona. I'm told by sources that it's underway and on track. Same in Europe. They're testing these prototypes. They think they're on track to start production of the battery electric ones in Germany next year. And now it's all about testing the fuel cell tech that GM brings, which they hope to start production on in 2023. But we'll see if they're able to pull it off on the cash on hand that they have, which I'm told is around $900 million.